Hello everyone, let's talk about the real estate market here in the Washington, D.C. area. This is your report for January, our first report of 2025. Let us begin as always with interest rates. Interest rates are stubbornly high at 7%. A few weeks ago, the Fed actually announced a half-point rate cut. However, the mortgage interest rates did not follow. They have remained at 7% because the 10-year yield actually climbed upon news of that rate cut. So unfortunately, this is higher. Not as high as it was 14 months ago in November of 2023 when we reached 8%, but 7% is still high. It's not trending in the wrong direction because it's been fairly flat since this last November, but we want to see that number trend down and trend down quickly, give the buyers more purchasing power, and see a more robust market. Right now, we're at 7% for a 30-year fixed. That is, of course, the average according to bank rate. Our clients are seen as low as 6.5, maybe 6.25 with a point buy down. So if you're curious about what you would qualify for, let us know, and we're happy to introduce you to one of our preferred lenders. Let's talk about the number of new listings. Here are the number of new listings in the Washington, D.C. metro area, so not just D.C., but the entire metro area, for the last 3 years. And as you can see, there were a lot more properties in 22 than there were in 23, 24, roughly the same. This is the year-over-year change. So if you see that thick double black line in the center, everything below it means it was 20, 40% lower than the previous year. Now we're seeing numbers that are a little bit higher or even with the new listings last year. So the number of total listings is down, but flat from year to year. Not as many people are choosing to sell. The median sale price, however, keeps increasing. Now this chart here, these first two were for all property types. I've now broken it out into the red, which is just detached homes, blue all home types, and yellow is condos and co-ops. And these are the median prices over the last 3 years. As you can see, these numbers are slowly climbing higher, even with higher interest rates. Okay, I'm sorry, these are the last 4 years for this chart here. These are slowly climbing higher, and if you go and look at the year-over-year change, you can see that they are 5 to 10% higher year over year. So January or December of 2024 was 5 or 10% higher than December of 2023, which is 5 or 10% higher than December of 2022, etc. So the prices still are climbing slowly every year. Same thing with price per square foot. All three of those lines are steadily trending upwards. When you look at the year over year change, again, everything above that double black line means that it was higher in that month than the same month of the previous year. So the price per square foot, with a few exceptions, a few months where it was a little bit lower, the prices per square foot still continue to climb. Now this chart looks at the number of closed sales, so the homes that successfully sell, and you see a similar shape to the new listings, where it was higher in 2022, then lower in 23, 24 was similar to 23. And again, the year-over-year change, you can see there was a big drop in 2022. That's when rates were increasing, so fewer homes were selling than in 2021. 2023 continued to drop, and now we are climbing back out. So the last year, most of those months, we've seen an increase over 2023. So more homes sold in 2024, but still far fewer than sold in 2022 or 2021. Which leads us to months of supply. Months of supply is a metric that we use to determine the overall balance between supply and demand. Simply put, if there are 10 homes on the market and 5 sell per month, you have 2 months of supply. Or if no new homes come on the market, in 2 months everything will be sold, there'll be nothing available. There's no hard and fast rule about this, but generally anything less than 2 to 3 months of supply is a seller's market. Between 3 or 4 and 5 or 6 is a balanced market. Certainly above 6 is a buyer's market. And you can see here since Q4 2021 how the months of supply have changed. For the most part, you're at 1 month of supply, and then you're climbing to, again, this is the entire metro area. We're now at about 2 months of supply for detached homes, single-family homes, detached homes, row homes, and then all properties. The condos is up at about 2.75 months of supply. By most scales, the bottom 3 lines you see there are a seller's market, really by all. And then the condo at 2.75, by most scales, that would be a seller's market, perhaps approaching a balanced market. Now, of course, what really matters is what's happening in your particular submarket. So if you look at my neighborhood, the single-family home market is actually still red hot. The condo market, I would say, far more balanced. If you go over to the east to the next neighborhood, there, the single-family home market is not doing too well. So if you talk about the single-family home market in our zip code, even that's a little misleading. What you really care about is the single-family home in the exact micro market that you are targeting. But this will give you an idea of the broader market. Supply has more than doubled. From 0.5 up to say 1.7 to 2, and then from 1 up to 2.75. So somewhere in the double to triple range over the last several years of that supply. However, if you go back 10 years, this is what we're looking at. In 2014, which was a fine real estate market, I remember it well, there was regularly more than 2 months of supply. And since then, as rates has continued to be lowered and stay low, we just saw more and more buyers snatching up more and more properties. So even if there were more listings, there were always enough buyers for them. And we got down to the low point, in a good sense, the low point of late 2021, when everything was 1 month of supply or less. A very, very red hot seller's market. Since then, it's climbed back up. So if you look at just the last few years, you'd think, wow, really supply's gotten out of control. But if you look at the last 10 years, we're actually still in a very balanced market. Now, again, the devil is in the details in terms of what market you are looking in. And of course, we can always run this analysis for you on your target neighborhood. And this is the closed sales. And again, this is the last 10 years. This is now broken down by quarter. But you can see there were regularly in a busy quarter 20,000 homes selling. Now in a busy quarter you have 15,000 homes selling. For detached homes in a busy quarter you'd have 10,000 homes selling. Now that red line over on the right, you might only have in a busy 7,000 or so selling. So there are far fewer transactions going on right now. So what does all this mean? Are more homes being listed? No. We're very, very flat. And it's basically a zero change from last year, and last year was a depressed year in terms of the number of homes being listed. Are home sales increasing? The prices, yes. The number of sales, no. The number of sales is still lower. For sellers, what does this mean? As we see, it's still a seller's market based on months of supply. Again, depending upon the type of home, it is. And we are still regularly on the homes we sell or when we represent buyers, there's still plenty of homes that are getting multiple offers and are still in bidding wars. Again, it just depends on the market. But if your home is properly prepared, priced, and marketed, it will still sell for the price that you want. It's, again, still a seller's market based on those months of supply. Perhaps not as red hot as it was a few years ago, but looking at a 10-year frame, still very, very much a good market. If you have any questions at all, contact us again, as always, for private consultation, home evaluation. Happy to be of assistance. For buyers, we've been saying this exact slide, this bullet has not changed in the last almost 3 years. Now is a great time to be a buyer. Do not wait until the months of interest rates come down, the months of supply drops. Then you're going to be in an even tighter, more competitive seller's market. And now is a great time. Yes, the interest rates are higher, but you can use that possibly to negotiate and get a lower price. And you also, of course, have the ability to refinance as rates come down. Anyone who's bought in the last 3 years is planning on refinancing if they have not already at least once. Through our preferred lenders, you can refinance at no upfront cost. For 3 years, you'll still obviously pay the cost of refinancing, but that can be rolled into the mortgage and no cash out of pocket. We also still offer our buyer satisfaction guarantee. Make sure we want you to love the home that you're in. And if this interests you at all, have any questions about the market, please contact us for a free consultation. And of course, any of your family and friends are looking in DC, Maryland, Virginia, or now West Virginia, we'd love the opportunity to talk with them and to work for them and find them a home in this market, or again, if you're a seller, to sell in this market. That is your real estate report for 2025. I hope you found that informative. As always, we welcome any questions. Any referrals, we're always here for your real estate needs. Thanks for watching and take care.